How's everybody doing tonight?
Hello.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
All right, so I want y'all to introduce yourselves, starting with the first lady.
Hi, I'm Tiara Sanders.
Pastor Sanders, how y'all doing?
All right, so for those that don't know who you guys are, give me like a brief summary of where you're from and all that good stuff.
Well, I was born and raised in born in Pennsylvania, raised in Tampa. A member of St. Mary Missionary Baptist Church.
Of course, you can tell. I'm from the state of Dallas. I'm from the state of Texas, San Antonio. By way of Air Force, Dad moved down to Florida, Tampa. I am the pastor of St. Mary Missionary Baptist Church, Dwayne Sanders.
Okay, and this first episode is titled "The Role of a Wife." Now, just to fill everybody in that'll be joining us. So the purpose of this podcast is to get a perspective from a married couple that's in the church, and of the ministry. And so we're gonna get like a bird's eye view, if you will, and real in-depth perspective from both of them as individuals and together. So my first question is, how did y'all meet?
Work.
Okay.
Yeah, through work. HSBC back in the day. Then that got laid off, and I ended up at Ford, and she came to Ford, and that's how we hooked up the second time around.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been knowing him a long time.
How many years?
Ooh, since
No, it's been a while.
20. I started at HSBC in 2011.
And I was there way before 2011.
Yeah,
So
so we've been on each other, well, not knowing him, but I knew of him since then. And then when we started working at Ford together, that's how everything started. So we've been together for 4 years, married for 3 years.
too long.
So next question will be, what is the role of a woman in a marriage? So T, we'll get your perspective on this, because obviously you're the woman.
Wow. So, well, see, that's the hard question for me, being that I've been married for one time. It's my first marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So my expectation of a woman in a marriage is supposed to be the homemaker, the mother, the nurturer. I see him looking at me like, but that's also just the one who's always the backbone of the household.
Pastor, what would be your definition? We're giving y'all both giving your own definition. So what would be yours?
Repeat that again, CJ.
What is the role of a woman in a marriage? Your definition.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically the role of a woman in marriage is, basically as the Bible said, help her, support her, uplift her, pray for your partner, be there for your partner, support, which is there, which she does, as far as, and just, I just think that in that situation, her role is important because it gives me the time I need if I need to study,
Mm-hmm.
or I need to be away, understanding what I have to do as a pastor when I need to go see somebody, or feel free to go see somebody without being asked where you're going and what you're doing. All those things are important when it comes to her role.
Okay. Now T, so you said that this is your first marriage. So, I hear a lot of women say, you have to be naturally submissive and, to be a good wife. Were you naturally submissive, or that's something that you had to learn? Pastor's face says it all, but I want you to, obviously.
What what does submissive mean?
Pastor, you want to help her out?
I'm just kidding. I know what it be.
Uh-huh.
But no, I was not. No.
No, you wasn't?
I was not. No.
Is that something that you had to learn?
Yes. And that's basically because I was on my own for so long. I had to take care. I was a mother of two, single mother of two, so I was raising me and my kids. So I had to be the mother, the dad, the provider, the homemaker. I had to do everything. So everything falls on me. And now, as being a wife, I had to learn that I don't have to do everything. I have my husband. Let him take on that role for me. Let him be the provider. Let him do what he's supposed to do as a man, and I could just relax.
Is that like an ongoing process, or is it something that are you still learning that?
Oh yes.
Still?
No, yeah. I'm still learning it. At times I still feel like I want to do things my way. I have that tendency. It's going my way or no way. So I'm still working on that submissive part.
Okay. What would you guys say is for those that's watching? I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of audience, so single people, married people, whatever have you. What would you guys say is the greatest challenge of being married?
To me, it's trust. To me, it's trust and respect. Men want respect. I mean, that's basically what we want in all areas of it all. But I got to piggyback on her submissive, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You know, what she said about still growing, yeah, it's right. I mean, what she said about her way or no way, I mean, that's true. And and it kind of it can put you in a bind because you don't want to take away her freedom. You don't want to take her from being the woman that she is. And I think that's where she get caught up in thinking that her identity gets lost because she's being submissive. But it's really not lost at all. You're still the woman that you are. It's just that things have to be done in an order that God ordained them.
Facts.
And submissive doesn't mean that you don't be who you are. It just means that you allow the man to lead and guide. Basically, that's what he's supposed to do in the household. And it's kind of tough when there's that fighting against, you know, that position that the husband is in, to be the husband, the father, the leader. And like she just said, she was being honestly true. She wasn't, because she still does things her way. And sometimes causes conflict. You know, so am I being real? And sometimes it causes conflict, and sometimes, you know, but then she has grown a lot. You know, she really does help a lot, but it just, you know, come to say, hey, we need to do that the way. You know, it's still that part that she said about, you know, by herself, and had to do it all by herself, and had, you know, did when nobody wasn't there. So I get that. I understand that. But getting to understand, you don't have to do all that by yourself no more. And it's been one of the hardest things to get her to understand. So, and we'll cover on that. But back to what the question that you asked, I just feel that it's not easy. The struggle is there. And being real, I think we both can say that there's been times we just want to walk away. Just straight, if I could put it on this part, the hell with it. Just I'm done. I'm done with her. I'm done with marriage. You can do what you want to do. I'm gonna be me. Yeah. You know, and even sometimes right now we go at. We don't always get along, but the good thing about it is knowing God kind of makes it where, you know, past or not, if you got him in your life, you can lean back and say, hey, let's stop.
So, Pastor, by what you just said, you said, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're on this journey, you want to quit. So what keeps you guys saying, you know what, we're going to keep this thing going together?
You want to answer that first?
No.
First of all, God.
Word up. Okay.
Secondly, the commitment. You know, when you made the vows. And I always tell people, marriage is not the problem. There's the two people in the marriage that creates the problem for the marriage. Because there's times like marriage is bad. No, it's not. God created marriage. It's the two people in the marriage that cause the problem in the situation. So it's definitely God and the commitment. And you definitely got to have love in there, because if that wasn't a part of it, and it wouldn't be worth it in the first place.
Been gone a long time ago. But just to pick back off him, the God first and our vows, because I do hold my vows seriously. Till death do us part. Death do us part. So that's one reason. But we do have our days where we struggle, and sometimes, like he said, I'd be like, oh, I'm just done. I don't want to deal with this no more. I'm gonna do it on my own. I don't need to struggle like this. So I just, even though he think I don't pray it as often as he does, but I do sit here and pray about our marriage and just for God to give me strength to try to work out my issues. Because at the end of the day, sometimes I know it's not him, it's me. I have to work on me.
T, next question. You being the first lady of the church, do you feel pressure?
Of course.
Explain.
I feel pressure by a lot of people expecting me to act and be a certain way. Like when we first was dating, I didn't even know he was a pastor. So he didn't even tell me until our first date, because I asked him while we was at work. I said, "Are you?" Because I knew he sang in the program at the job and everything. And he was like, "I said, are you a deacon or something?" He said, "We'll talk about it on our date." When he told me, I said, "A pastor."
Yeah.
I said, "Are you sure you want to date me?" Because I was still out in the world, and I'm still growing. Cause I still like to do some things that I used to like, not even like clubbing and nothing. I don't club. I got older and tired of that. But I still want to hang out with my friends. I want to go out to brunch and stuff like that and have a good time with my friends. So a lot of people may think with certain things I wear, they might feel like, oh, you dress a little too, I don't know the word, I guess provocative for a pastor's wife.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Is there a textbook definition of a pastor's wife?
I don't think there is, but some people may try to put it on there like you. But to me, I don't feel like it's there because I'm still me. Like my husband was called to be a pastor. I'm his wife. I was called to be his wife. So I'm gonna always have his back and support him. I love God. I'm in church. I do believe in God. But I'm not a holy endowed, sanctified person. Like people want to expect you to be as a pastor's wife. As I feel, pretty much. Pastor.
But I think the role of a pastor's wife is vital to the ministry. And the dress provocative. I mean, I told you, you can dress, but I think there's some things that don't need to be revealed. I don't care, just God. That's just me. And ain't for every man to see. Just being real with the whole situation. Because whether my wife will look at, I can't do what I want to do because I'm the pastor. But and I try to convey to her, when they see her, they don't see Tiara. They don't say that's Tiara. They say that's Pastor Sanders' wife.
Facts.
So when you out there, they identify you with me, even though you're still your own lady. Right. And you should be your own lady. And I've never had a problem with you dressing. It's just certain things that I just don't think is appropriate for outside. Because when you go out there, the people are saying, Pastor Sanders' wife dressed like that, or she got that on, Pastor Sanders' wife. And that's the backlash of it all. Lady T is Lady T, and want Lady T to be Lady T. But that role of supporting me, like you said, is there. So it's really not an issue. And sometimes we went at it about that. Where the hell are you going with that on? Can I just be real, CJ?
Yeah, go ahead.
Where the hell are you going with that on? No, ma'am, you need to change that. That's too much cleavage being shown. I'm just being real because when you go out there, they ain't gonna say Tiara.
Right. We still getting that argument though.
T, so why do you, when Pastor makes that, he puts that on the table, how come you give him some resistance? Because
I don't feel like it's an issue. And I don't, he feel like, and some things don't even be low. He feel like, I can't, like how this is cover up, this is what he wants to be cover up. But sometimes it may be a little lower and he don't.
Now, hold on. There's a difference. No. when you be down here,
Yeah.
when you be down here and all this up here be showing, that's too low. That's the only thing. Right here, you know, I ain't got no issue with that. But you don't have some stuff that done been down up in here.
But let me explain why though, because I think that's the big issue with.
Explain why.
For me, I used to be bigger, and I didn't feel confident in myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my access. That's how you say it. My access was my breast. That was my.
You said no lie.
Yeah, so I'm being honest. That was the go-to. Like whenever someone see me, they know TT.
So you're saying, once upon a time, your
When I was
self-esteem,
out there in the street, yeah.
your self-esteem wasn't as high, so that was, you know, your way of
Making me feel pretty.
making you feel okay.
That's how that is. So if I show a little cleavage, because you won't see enough nuts, you won't see the fatness around my stomach or nothing like that. So the first thing you go to be like, oh, she thick, but don't see the gut.
So T, do you think a lot of women like the way they dress, is that their way of trying to express themselves?
Yes, I definitely feel like a lot of women dress to express themselves. And it's not just for attention. Like a lot of people think it's just for attention. And I know my husband, that's the first thing he's gonna say, attention. And I can only speak for myself. I don't really go out and dress so I can get attention from men. It's just the attention I want to get for myself. So if I'm walking around, I don't care if a man says, oh, she look good. I don't care about that. Thank you, keep it moving. But that's me. Everybody's different. Some people want men to be like, oh, look, pull on you and stuff. I don't like people touching me. So I will never be the type of woman to go out and whatever I got on, I feel like, oh, it's okay for a man to come touch me on my butt, grab my arm, like, where you going? No, that's not me.
Pastor, what's the issue that you have?
Yeah,
Is
because I can see
the dress, is it the dressing part, or is it everything? Like,
No, I mean it's like it's not, and I don't have a problem with the women expressing themselves. But then at the same token, you can't get mad if a man come up to you, because whether you say you want the attention or not, you're gonna get the attention because the way you're dressing.
okay,
So let's just be real with it, you know.
Right.
And women say, I don't want nobody to. I want the attention. Well, then maybe you shouldn't have dressed like that if you want attention, because a man gonna respond to what they see. So in essence, what my wife said, they know what they be doing when they put it on. I can't buy what she just said.
100%.
Because they know what they be doing. Now,
Yeah.
I'm just being really honest. I don't have a problem with some of the things that she wear, but when I see it down here, I'm like, no. Because you may not think it, but they're gonna think it.
For sure.
Dress that way for me.
Right.
I'm cool.
Right.
But when you go out there and you think you'll get attention, it's gonna come. And so that thing about, women have the right. Y'all, I don't have a problem with the way women dress. Y'all should. But only feedback I say on that is, don't think that it's not gonna draw attention. If you're just looking good for you, that's good. But it's gonna draw attention because just what you have on.
But no one's saying that though. Like if it draws attention, it draws attention. But it don't give anyone the right to put their hands on it.
I'm not
That's
saying
what I'm
that.
saying.
I agree
But-
with that.
but of course
But
it-
you can't say that you don't want the attention, because the attention is gonna come.
Just because the attention comes don't mean that I want that attention at the end of the
But
day.
T, would you agree that what you're putting out to the universe, it's gonna attract a certain energy? That's what Pastor is saying.
If it attracted, I can handle that man. I'm gonna agree with you. We're gonna agree to disagree.
What the pastor or what I'm saying?
Everybody said, both of y'all.
I mean,
See, the vibe is this. This how I want to dress. I'm doing this for me. Then I'm cool. Okay, that's acceptable. But when you take it out to the universe, like CJ said, acceptable. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you to be around me. It's not acceptable, because it's going to happen because you are now outside in the universe. Men gonna be men. I mean, it's married. You got on a ring or not, it don't matter. Men gonna be men.
So I gotta stop wearing what I want to feel comfortable in, because men gonna look.
No, I did. That's not what I said.
That's what I'm
You
getting
said
confused.
you didn't want to draw the attention.
yeah.
That you're gonna draw the attention because of the way you look.
Okay, I didn't say I don't care if the attention come, but that's not what my initial me putting on my clothes. does not mean I'm going out there looking for that attention. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is that what you wear, you already know that once you get out there, it's going to draw the attention.
Okay, but okay, so I'm not supposed to wear it because men want to look. Like at the end of the day, I'm going to wear what I want to wear. If you want to look, then you want to look. I could be fully clothed in a muumuu. A man going to look. So what's the difference?
But what I'm saying there, what CJ initially asked the question was about, you know, what you wear. No, don't move on because then you hear this. What I'm saying is this. I just don't believe that you can dress how you want to, but there ought to be a certain style. There ought to be certain things that you don't show for the world to me, a pastor's wife. And you know, that's just me, because what we're doing is that there are people watching you that's on the cusp of the fence. Or should I go to church or should I not? And it's just, it's not your fault. But people saying, okay, she dresses like that. I don't want to go to church if that's how the first lady dresses.
But that's cause you could say that too. But there could be other people be like, oh, she looks nice. So I didn't know a pastor wife would dress like that. I'm not saying no. I ain't saying no one gonna say no. They're not gonna say they're gonna come to church because you dress like that with all your cleavage. They got nothing. See, that's the stipulation you want to do. You want to bring in seasoned people who dress modest. Now the Bible does talk about dress modest appearance. So if you want to bring that up, we go up to the Bible and dig it up. I'm trying not to go there, but with you. But you cannot say that, because all I'm saying is this, and you take it out of context. I did not say you can't dress. What I said was what? No, what I said was no. I don't think CJ. This is raw and real what it should be. So I'm trying to say move on.
Right.
All I'm saying is this though. You can dress. All I'm saying is that you talk about the attention. You can't get upset because attention is gonna come. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna agree to disagree. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, leave it at that.
Guys, audience that's watching, leave a comment under the video. Let us know, you know, your opinion. So next question, this is for the pastor. Pastor, is there pressure on you as the leader of the flock? You know, you being a man first and a pastor, what are the certain things that you deal with internally and still being our spiritual leader?
What some people don't understand, that the role of a pastor is a lonely walk, and sometimes you don't walk alone. Of course, you know you got Christ, but you actually walking alone. She can't understand it. The flock can't understand it. The stress of trying to have the congregation believe the direction that God has taken you as the leader for them to follow, sometimes overwhelming. So there's been plenty of times that I've gotten in my vehicle and I just ride down 41 just to try to just have Jesus talk to me about so much stress. You got the stress of the family when we go at it. You got the kids. And then you're trying to prepare for a sermon at the same time. And there's been situations where we've gotten it on a Saturday. My mind is totally lost. You know, I'm trying to prepare. We going at it. I can't do this. You know, you need to leave. I need to leave. I'm just being real because it takes me off of my responsibility. And then you're like, God, I don't want to go before the congregation with this. I need peace. I need to reset. I need to refocus. I need to refresh. You know, and there's been times that I just, you know, I tell T, listen, you need to leave. I need to leave and there's been times like I just put the whole Bible down, CJ, and just like, God, just give me strength to just come and pick it back up, because I think I said it earlier in the chat, and there's been times I want to just quit, just want to walk away, because this is a lot, you know, and God, I know you don't put them on me. I can bear. I understand I'm called, but can you give me some grace, some mercy, you know, give me some peace of mind.
Right.
And she understands that at times, but then there at times she's added to the pressure, and that's when the part she don't get, because I'm getting pressure from just being the pastor, but then the pressure of here with her, that's like a double whammy.
Right.
You know.
So T, is there times that you can tell that the pastor is stressed and you guys to have your marital issues? So how do you try to help him get out of that place where he can have a peace of mind to lead the church?
That's a good question. Cause
do you leave him be, or like what do you do?
I walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I just walk away, even though because we go through those things. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna support my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in his ministry. I do, even though we go at it and we may say some things. I believe in his ministry, and I believe he can be bigger than what he is now. I believe if we can get the right people, the right everything going the way it needs to be going, it could be a big ministry. Because he does great work. He got a vision, and I feel like a lot of people would be able to neither hear it. To be honest with you, neither see and hear his vision. So I do try to stay away because I know it's hard on him. Getting up every Sunday, going to church, or trying to do Bible study, and then he be trying to do stuff and nobody wants to show up. So
right.
I do see that it's a lot on his plate. I try not to add to it, but I do add to it, and if I ever do not go away, just tell me I need my break.
Next question. What are your rules to handling conflict between each other? Pastor, you can pop this off.
Yeah, my rule is just be quiet.
Okay.
Just let it go, because the more you talk, the more you say, and the more you put out there, you can't take it back. We went through a 17-week course called Re-Engage. It really helped us, look at different things differently. It's called speaker listener. It's like our biggest problem. I'm talking, she talking, blah 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 blah. So a speaker listener says, when I'm talking, you can't say nothing, and when she talking, I can't say nothing. But it gives opportunity. So she says something. So this is how you feel about what I did, and I need to do this differently, and then she could say yes, vice versa. I think that's one of the biggest issues that we had in the past was like nobody want to listen to nobody. We just going at it, and
still working on it.
Yeah, but that helps us out, see things differently. So I just feel that one of the biggest ways out of conflict, sometimes they say silence is gold. Sometimes don't say nothing.
T?
I don't agree with the silence is golden because I be having stuff on my chest. I gotta get it off.
So you want the last word?
I am a last word person, but sometimes I don't know. Our conflict, we go through some arguments, and I just feel like sometimes, like you said, just be quiet. But other times, I just let me finish saying how I feel, because if I just be quiet, it's gonna linger on and it's gonna fester. And if I hold everything in, one day, one little thing gonna tick me off, and I'm gonna say, boom.
Like a volcano.
Yeah, so I just rather get everything out when
that's
I can.
That's dangerous. Like
very. What comes from me? Because
but one of the biggest things she just said is that when she said silence is gold, it's not gold, it is. Because here's what I've learned: if I keep talking, she gonna keep talking. So I just don't say nothing, and eventually she'll stop talking. Because as long as I'm going there with her, she gonna keep coming back with me. So that's why I said silent gold. Might not be for her, but here's what I realized.
Right.
She can't argue by herself.
True.
She can't. Eventually, she gonna get tired of hearing herself.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking when I said silent gold.
Yeah.
I had to learn that because I would go right back toe to toe with, like, God, what? I don't know what's going on with this one right here, but she got the wrong one, because I could bring it the same way. I could keep going back and forth with her. I'm like, that ain't doing that. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try a different approach. Go keep talking. Just keep going. Yes, keep going. Eventually, you're going to stop hearing yourself.
But let me tell you this. I still be talking and get that last word.
That's just how women do, Pastor. You know what I'm saying? They not going to stop, bruh. So what would be a piece of advice that you both can offer to people that may be struggling in their marriage? What piece of advice would you give them?
Pray.
Okay.
Always pray, and if you can, pray together. Sometimes you just got to get together and pray about your own marriage. Communicate. Communication is big. So if you can't talk to your husband, who else you gonna talk to? You can't talk to your wife, who else you gonna talk to?
Pastor?
From what I can say about that, giving advice, and she knows I feel. One thing, don't let social media be in the way of your relationship with each other. There's a time that I think you should be on. There's a time that you shouldn't be on it. And as she said, pray and believe. But I think the biggest thing is, like I said earlier, respect and trust. For her, if I'm wrong, it's trust. If I'm right, it's trust, right?
What?
Trust for you, as far as me.
Yeah.
And for me, it's respect from her. And I think that's, and just keeping it real. You gotta keep people out your business.
For sure.
I mean, you definitely. Everybody don't even know what's going on in your household. I mean, what we do here, that's fine. When we step outside the door, nobody even know we had an argument. Nobody know what's going at it, because that's a whole different sector. Because people could see it like, oh, they ain't, they going at it. Yeah, they ain't, yeah. But I think we can have a disagreement here and walk out there. Nobody got to know our business. And that's might just keep people out your business. I mean, that's one of the biggest things, because you're already struggling with each other. And then when you get advice from your friends and other people, that just adds to the pressure. Well, you all do this and you all do that. You should do that. I mean, come on, really. I mean, I think that's the wrong advice. I just think that if you're going to talk to somebody, and this is what I tell all the time, you need to talk to someone who's seasoned and experienced. I don't talk to my peers, my same people that I hang with. No, I talk to someone who's seasoned, who's done it, who's been in it for a minute, understand what it takes. If we both going to people, our friends, that ain't really helping. You got to go to somebody that's older and been in it, can take you through it and look at you and say, Dwayne, you wrong. I don't need you to agree with me in my mess. Only because you're my friend. That's just how I feel about it. And she'll tell you, I go to people older than me to say, hey, look, I did this, guide me. And they'll tell me, you're wrong.
Right.
And that's how I look at it,
Yeah, I don't agree with that, though. But...
See, and she don't agree with that. And I think that's one of the biggest issues that me and her struggle with. She thinks it's okay to go to her single friends, her single friends, talk to them about it. And even though they may not say or tell her to do things, but you're not getting a spiritual advice from a person that has been there, done that, has the experience, that has gone through it, and can guide you. Because a single person can't tell me anything about marriage, because they're not married.
Facts.
And just like a married person can't tell a single person about being single, because they're not single. That's just how I believe it.
Yeah.
But you're wrong, because you're assuming.
Since I'm assuming, what can a single person tell me about marriage?
I didn't say that. You're assuming I go to my single friends and talk to them about my marriage and get advice from them. I don't do that. So and I already know who that person you're saying.
I said friends. I didn't say one person.
That's the only friend I got, though, that I talk to.
More than one friend.
Tiara's married. So that's what I'm saying. And if I go to my friend, we got married the same year.
Okay.
So she knows what I'm going through as a new wife.
Okay.
So that's why I talk to. But I also have seasoned women that I talk to who's been married for years. Even if I go to my mom, she's been married for years. She's been married for 43 years. So I go to people I don't need to get advice. I just need to know what I need to do in my marriage to help my marriage. So it's not just advice.
So what piece of counsel do they give you, T, when you do seek advice? Like, what do they tell you?
Well, both of the people I talk to tell me to pray. And then give me suggestions on how I could try to work things with my husband.
Yeah.
So I think he feels like someone never said, I wouldn't take this, or I just leave. No, don't nobody tell me that. None of my friend that just got married the same year I got married.
Yeah.
She never tells me, oh, you just leave. No, she be like, y'all need to work this out. Y'all got a family, y'all married. Marriage is work.
I ain't never say that.
I didn't tell you that.
Oh, I said I ain't gonna go. I'm gonna say I ain't.
No.
But Lady T, This is a stubborn woman. Somebody, they could tell her she wrong. This woman would know she was wrong. She would not come back to me and say, hey, I was wrong. I want to apologize. I'd be like, Jesus.
No accountability.
Why is it so hard to do that? I mean,
I'm not wrong.
if you see, that's part of that.
Yeah.
Even when the people tell her she wrong, and what she don't know is that my mother, I'm telling you, she told me she was wrong. She knows she wrong, but she won't come back and tell me.
T, why do you think?
I don't get it.
Why do you think you can't take accountability?
Because
Is it a pride thing?
It's a pride thing, but also I feel like the majority of the reason why we go through a lot of stuff because he starts it.
Yeah, see, that's like
So if he wouldn't have started, I wouldn't have went the way I went.
But that's not it. I think, and I'm glad we went there because this woman has a hard time of saying, I'm sorry.
It's hard.
Accountability.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm just like.
But if I'm really, really wrong and I know I'm wrong, it's going to take me a few days.
A few days, T? T, a few days?
Look, I'm working
That's
on it.
crazy. A few freaking days. But I'm sure if Pastor Sanders out of line, you want an apology right there.
Yeah, I do. I expect you to.
Because you're probably going to be like, it took you a few days to say something to me about that.
But he don't tell you though. We have been like at odds where we haven't talked to each other. We'll go in the house for a whole week and don't speak to each other.
Wow.
That's real, and that's
Because
just,
he's stubborn too.
and that's just hold on. But here's the thing about it is, people think that a pastor is this quote unquote up here, don't have issues,
Right.
Can't do nothing wrong, don't do wrong, and that's not reality. The reality is that we keep that from the congregation in the world because in our own household, like she just said, we've gone around here for a week and haven't actually said, well, we say good morning. But, as far outside of that, don't have a conversation. And the thing about it is the fact that what she just said about 9% of the time I start, that's not, I'm not saying I don't start, but that's not the case. You need to repent on that lie right there. You just told, because I've always said to her, what is so hard when you know you're wrong about just apologizing? I don't get it because forgiveness is not so much for me. Forgiveness is for you so you can move on.
Release.
And that's what people don't understand. Forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you so you can move on with that, knowing that you asked for forgiveness and you ain't got that burden no more. A lot of people think that when they apologize, it's for the person. And then actually, it's so you can be free.
Release.
It's so you can feel better. Because when you don't, honestly, right, you still got to deal with that. You still got to deal with it, right? Knowing that you was wrong and you you got to deal with that internally. And so often people think that it's so when she apologized to me, that's for me. Forgiveness is actually for you, so you can have to hold that guilt and you can move on. And that's what we want to express to anybody that may going through. When you forgive, it's more or less you forgiving. And then sometimes what we don't do, CJ, is we can ask for forgiveness, but we don't forgive ourselves. When you need to forgive yourself for what the situation happened and why it happened, because that's a part of you moving on and healing as well.
Wow. This has been powerful so far. So guys, I got 2 more and then we're going to wrap and then we're going to close out and the rest will be for part 2. So first question is, how do you both make time for each other given those you guys have children and Pastor has everything he's got, T, you got everything you got going on. How do you guys make time for each other?
I just told him that this week that he don't really have time for me. So that's something that he's definitely gonna have to work on because he got work, football, church, football. And where my time at? Where is time for you to say, like, hey baby, let's go to dinner, or hey, let's go take a walk, let's go to river walk or do something.
Yeah.
I don't get no time. So
No, I'm not gonna lie. She did express that, and I do coach. Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays I do coach. Then Saturday game. I try to do things around that, and I know it bothers her, so I know I gotta do better than that. But did you just say walk?
Something, yes. We used to go to the Riverwalk. Amateur
Child, you
Works.
didn't even walk down here down the
Amateur Works have nice stuff to do.
I just threw that in there because I've been trying to get you to walk around here in the neighborhood. You don't even want to walk in the neighborhood.
That ain't a date.
It's still a walk though. But yeah, what she said is true, and I know I gotta do better than that. You know, and yeah, that's on me. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. So I heard her and I understand it, and I just gotta change perspective on that. Got to.
T, do you make time for the pastor?
I will when he has time. Because I don't normally do, like, if I do anything, it's either he's already gone or he's already doing something. Like if I'm hanging out with my friend, it's because he's not home already. He's out football and doing whatever.
Right.
So that's when I go and say, I'm not gonna sit home all day and do nothing.
So the foundational point is just to carve out the time and just do it and plan.
I do plan my trips though, so he's gonna jump on board with the trip. So even though he be like, I don't want to do this, it's paid for. We're going.
What's the trip that you guys are gonna go
on? Nothing this year with the both of us, but next year we're doing a cruise.
Just you two?
No, kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I do want to plan something. I do want to plan something for our anniversary, just the two of us, but we'll see how that goes.
Last question. What is the key to longevity in a marriage? We'll start with the pastor.
God has to be the center. I mean, it has to be the center. If there's going to be longevity, you gotta want to press forward. You gotta want to move forward and sometimes agree to disagree. Just let God lead the marriage and follow His plan, and that's what we don't do sometimes. So it makes the struggle even harder. You gotta believe in each other. You gotta trust is hard. You know, but you gotta establish that trust. Let's just put it to the forefront, CJ. If there's no love, it ain't gonna happen regardless. You know, because if love's not in it, because love is the key to it all. And you know, if there's no love, then the marriage is not gonna go away anyhow. You know, so that's just my belief.
T.
Say always keep God in the center of your marriage, because if not, it's not gonna work. Love is the main one as well, because if you don't have love, you just roommates pretty much. Also, just work it out and work out whatever issues you got. If you really want your marriage, if you want you want to have a long, healthy marriage, work things out, talk to each other. Don't just let stuff linger and stuff build up. Communicate with each other.
Yeah, you still apologize, right?
Apologize, you never. Sometimes.
Well, this conversation can go on, but we must conclude, and we're gonna save some stuff for part 2. So episode 2 will be the role of a husband. So y'all stay tuned for that. Any questions that you guys may have, please send them to our DM to the church, St. Mary Missionary Baptist Church on Instagram and Facebook. Please DM us your questions, and I will ask them to T and Pastor, whether you want it to be an anonymous or you want me to shout you out when I ask the question. Just let us know that. Pastor Sanders, give us a scripture of the night, and we're going to get up out of here.
It's my favorite scripture. Isaiah 40, 31. And I'm going to change to Romans 8:28, which one I quote all the time. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord, to them who are the called according to His purpose. I believe that when we trust Him, that we know that all things are going to work together. When we don't trust Him, that's when things don't work together.
All right, there you have it. Y'all stay tuned for part 2. Subscribe, rate, review, please comment. We're gonna be hitting y'all with this once a month. Until next time.
Bye.